finding quiet in a noisy world, for example, by limiting how much we interact with our phones.
Studies have shown that on average, adults check their phone 2,617 times a day.
She says surveys even show that over 50% of people check their phones within 5 minutes of waking up, and some even before their second eye is open.
They are scrolling through the headlines or social media or their email. Think about what that is doing to your brain and your body. Think about what that's doing to your stress.
She suggests not having the phone nearby at night, so you can't reach for it as soon as you wake up.
So when you open your eye, give your body and brain the ability to open the other eye and just rest in the moment. Acclimate to the morning, the light, giving yourself that little moment of pause, of grounding at the start of your day can be a game changer.
During the day, too, she suggests keeping the phone in a drawer or somewhere out of reach so we don't give in to the urge to check it all the time. Nerukar's third reset includes ways to sync the brain and body to counter the effects of stress. One of them is a quick deep breathing exercise called Stop, Breathe, Be that she's been using for years.
When I had a busy clinical practice and I was a medical resident in training and I would see 30 patients a day. And so as I would knock on the patient door before entering the next room, I would stop, breathe and center myself and just be. It's 3 seconds. And I would say this to myself under my breath, stop, breathe and be.
And when repeated throughout the day, she says, the practice can significantly lower one's stress. For her fourth reset, she suggests coming up for air by taking regular breaks.
There are many ways that you can engage and really honor your breaks. Stretching, taking a quick walk, walking around outside your building. If you work from home, going outside, doing a fake commute.
She says studies show that even a 5 or 10-minute break a few times a day can lower overall stress and boost cognition and productivity. Nerukar's fifth and final reset has ways to counter one of the most common impacts of stress on our psyches, making us more negative.
So when there is a negative experience, it becomes sticky in your brain like Velcro. The same amount of good and bad may be happening to you at the same time. But when you're feeling a sense of stress, you hold on to those negative experiences.
And a proven way to make the brain less sticky for negative experiences, she says, is a daily practice of gratitude journaling. Writing down 5 things that happened that day that you're grateful for.
Gratitude shifts your brain away from Velcro to Teflon. And it does that through the scientific principle of cognitive reframing. Essentially, what that means is what you focus on grows.
Regardless of which of these resets you might pick for yourself, Nerukar cautions to only pick 2 at a time. She calls it the resilience rule of 2.
The resilience rule of 2 is how your brain responds to change. Change is a stressor for your brain. Even positive changes in your life can be a stress.
So picking 2 things at a time, she says, will make it more likely for those changes to stick and become daily habits. Ritu Chatterjee, NPR News.
So pretty cool, right? Showing you guys the link to that book there, what I put in the chat. I mean, you can get the book or the audiobook on Amazon, but very interesting. 5 ways to rewire your brain. Multiple different, platforms that you can take to look at that sort of awesome stuff about neuroplasticity. But I think a doctor who lines up something for you in a good practical way, I think might be something worth looking into for sure. Haven't done it myself, but definitely saw that. And I thought, hey, shout out to this doc. So let's move on to our Herbal Wellness Corner. Exciting news in the sports world. UFC removes cannabis from the banned substance list. So shout out to Dana White on that one, guys. It's definitely something that you want to see there. I know you've got all kinds of head injury things going on there. But as of basically Thursday, December 28, 2023, the UFC announced the removal of cannabis from the banned substance list effective starting this year. So it's something we didn't get a chance to highlight. But, looking at this, these strict rules and policies had sidelined many pro MMA athlete careers, forcing them to leverage pharmaceuticals, opioids, and painkillers to deal with demanding seasons. Over the past decades, athletes have advocated for clean alternatives to help cope with recovery relief and citing opioids, painkillers as addictive blanket solutions for their injuries. Cough, cough, Brett Favre, sorry to say, but I know he's not a UFC fighter, although hopefully this UFC determination here, continues to enlighten the sports world as to what can we expect from not forcing, our athletes who are putting their bodies on the demand, harder than just about anybody else in this country, physical demand, right? Because you can measure it in many different ways, but again, recovery shouldn't just be, simple to ibuprofen, aspirin, Aleve, NSAIDs, then opioids. You should really give options out there, especially when you're looking at all the different components that go into, competing in athletics, right? And actually having to be your best self. So pretty interesting, guys, I think. But let's check out our community spotlight highlighting tonight, happening starting about right now, or just started. The general grandstands open open practice starts 6 p.m. now. General grandstands opened for free over at Vado Speedway Park for the Wild West Shootout, guys. So right now until 9 o'clock, you can go get out there and just watch them practice. Some sweet cars, obviously Kyle Larson, Bobby Pearson Town, like some really, really, really insane racing about to happen over the next 2 weeks. They'll be racing tomorrow and Sunday as well throughout the weekend, but it's going to be a racing 6 races over the next basically about week and a half up until next Sunday. So it's going to be very exciting. Boom, boom, boom. Tickets, guys. VadoSpeedwayPark.com. You can get 6-day package racing on January 6th, 7th, 10th, 12th, and 13th and 14th. It's going to be good stuff, I'm telling you. And if you can't go to Vado somehow and you're in this area, you really should try to get out there at least one of the 6 nights. But, you could watch it on flowracing.com. Most people in our local area probably don't have Flow Racing subscriptions, but definitely recommend that, guys. It's stay on top of it. It's good stuff. All right. Last thing, in light of our Men's Health Minute, guys, brought to you by Vado Speedway Park, wanted to just share a quick little factoid check here on auto driving. So, some of these races can take 30 minutes to even an hour, right? God forbid, sometimes they go an hour on the dirt track because they're having a lot of yellows and cautions. But again, these 50-lap features might take a little bit of time, right? And how much time does that take for drivers to, lose weight in pounds? Well, drivers can be losing anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds in a dirt track race. And that's pretty interesting, right? Burning anywhere from 1,000 to about 2,000 calories throughout the entire race. It takes a lot of true physical capacity there to be able to wheel a car. So don't think that, that is that's one easy sport. And for drivers to go out there and do it for 6 days in a row here at the Wild West Shootout, it's going to be insane. A lot of different setups, warm-ups, and things might be happening to start off the new year, but at the same time, testing the peak physical capacity of, the athlete there is definitely something dirt track racing and auto racing in general definitely is able to push the limits of. So other than that, guys, have a safe, fun, awesome weekend. Shop at High Horse for all the best deals. Cannabis wise, 24/7, 365 over here in Las Cruces, Chaparral and Hobbs 7. I think they believe close at noon, close at midnight, open at 7 a.m.